Rocky Latham. I am so excited that you're here today. Thank you, because I know this is your first time doing a podcast.
No, well, thank you for the invite. I was hoping to get one. It finally arrived.
It finally arrived. It's funny because I think I sent you a message last year around the time that I was chasing down Marilyn and Alan. And at that point, you weren't online too much. And then
Right.
after I'd already met you in person at that point, and then I was like, okay, let's get into maybe doing a podcast episode. And so here you are, and you are dressed in clergy attire, which I appreciate.
Oh, well,
When in Rome, right?
that's right. That's right.
So some of our viewers might know you from being in the band Ghost's acclaimed, record breaking, worldwide rock film Right Here, Right Now, and Ghost's YouTube chapters. That was a mouthful. Uh,
Right.
and what's exciting about that is you and Maralyn Facey and Alan Ursillo, you guys are all going to do a Ghost fan meet and greet on August 9th called Meet the
Yes, we are.
Clergy.
I'm looking forward to that.
Have you done anything like that before?
Never. You know,
Oh.
I've often visited. When we had premieres for the movies that I've done in the past. But as a group like this, no, I've never done a podcast, or I've never done
Oh.
a meet and greet. So this is brand new for me, even though I've been in a lot of movies. But this is
You
something new. I'm
have
excited.
You have. Before this, I looked at your body of work, and you have done a lot, which I am really excited to get into soon. But I just wanted to tell our viewers a little bit about your upcoming event.
Mhm.
So it is called Meet the Clergy. People can find a link to the Eventbrite where they can buy their tickets and read a little bit more information on that. They can find that link in your Instagram profile. They can find it in the show notes here. Again, it's called Meet the Clergy. It's in San Diego, Saturday, August 9th. And it is also a partial fundraiser for a very cool organization called Trans Family Support Services. And so we're looking forward to giving them a little bit of support here. And I might want to note that the fundraiser slash meet and greet is the day before Ghost is playing at SDSU in San Diego. So there's going to be a lot of people in town. It's going to be a nice big fan social where everybody gets to enjoy vendors, meet you guys, of course.
Mhm.
And what I'm particularly excited about, I'm excited about all of it, but my friend Raul Paredes is going to be there. He is an amazing photographer. And so he's going to, if anyone's viewing this right
Ooh,
now, I'm going to hold this up. He's going to be taking photos of fans with you guys, and then you'll be signing those photos. You can get a print. They can get a printout in person, or a digital download. And there's just so much more going on. There's going to be a screening of Right Here, Right Now. There'll be a Q&A with you guys. Forgot if I told you about the Q&A, but
sounds
that'll
great.
yeah, you're so laid back, so I know I could just like I could throw anything at you. I'd be like, you guys will also be on horseback. You'll be, and you'd be like, all right, that sounds
Aquatic
rad.
swimming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're so cool. So I very much appreciate that. It's gonna be a fun event, guys. So
Good.
check it out. Check it out on Eventbrite. And Mr. Rocky Latham, again, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I have noticed that you are opening up a bit more on social media, on Instagram, and sharing a little bit about your life here and there. I'm loving seeing you opening up to fans. And it's like you're slowly dropping these little breadcrumbs about your life, like that you have kids, you got a boat, you
Yeah,
you
30
have a
foot.
lot of
See, right.
oh, that's impressive. You also have a lot of famous actor friends, so it's just very cool to see you opening up like that. What are you getting out of this experience, and what do you hope that your fans are getting from this?
But hopefully for me that the fans that I've just been on Instagram maybe a couple of months and I already had 3,000 followers. And I'm really happy about that. What I want them to understand is that before I became Sultarian, I was a lot of other things. And starting with the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps during the Vietnam era. And I entered the Marine Corps in 65 and was in Vietnam in 67. And in between that, I lived in Japan and was on the Marine boxing team. And I was getting ready for the Olympics when, I hurt my jaw. My jaw was cracked. And that's how I ended up in Vietnam. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go back to the States. I just felt that I could have done better. And so I just volunteered and went to Vietnam and came back from Vietnam and realized that was a mistake.
Oh.
And I realized that everybody that I met practically when I got back despised the military, despised the Marine Corps and the war that we fought. And so it took me, I would say at least 20 years before I even would talk to anybody about that I would even mention that I was in Vietnam or that I was a Marine at all. But it took a while and I got over it. I had a few issues, like everyone else that fought in the war. I mean, you don't come back smiling for sure. But I got to meet some good people and went to college. And I must say, SIU, the college that I graduated from, Southern Illinois University, Edwards, was what I needed. It was the key to my success, and I haven't looked back since.
When you say it was a key to your success, what was a crucial pivotal point there? What happened when you went there that just made you snap into gear and realize what you wanted to do with the rest of your life? And then where did you go from there?
Well, I got a scholarship to Southern Illinois as an actor and a director. And when I got there, I realized I didn't have a place to stay. But I couldn't tell the university that I didn't have a place to stay.
Oh no.
So they say you're getting a scholarship and it kicks in the fall. Okay. But until the fall, what do I do? I'm acting in all these shows, but yet, I have no funds coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I slept in the men's locker room
Oh.
at the university. And it was interesting. Every morning, I'd get up and I'd walk over to the cafeteria and get whatever I needed to eat. But most of the time, I spent sleeping in the men's locker room. But it gave me the backbone to work it out, to make it happen. And when fall hit, I got my scholarship and everything worked out great. Graduated with top honors. Was in the Dean's College.
Oh dang.
And while I was there, I became detached commander, cadet detachment commander of my ROTC unit. That was during that period that I decided I was going to go back into the military. But I wasn't going to go back into the Marine Corps. I was going to go into the Air Force as a jet pilot.
That's an entirely different experience than when you were in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one, I'm carrying a rifle. I'm on the ground looking up. The other one, I'm flying a jet with real bullets.
Right.
Not hand bullets. And so it was an interesting change for me. But I was much older, too. I was 10 years older. So I had a lot of time to reflect and understand what life was all about. And after that, I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. I was a major in the Air Force. I retired and went to United Airlines and became a pilot for United Airlines. And I flew 727s, 37, 47, 57, 67, 777, DC-10. I flew them all. And then I decided to become an actor full time.
Ta-da! Ta-da!
Yes, I've done a lot in those.
You have done a lot, and thank you for opening up about Vietnam. You and I have spoken about this in that. I mean, I'm not one to say, but personally, I think it's important for veterans to open up about their experiences because mental health is so important.
Yes, it is.
So important. And my dad, I told you, my dad was in the Air Force in Vietnam, and he would not talk about it like I told you unless there was a few beers in him, and he had a lot of shared experiences and what you have told me, and he was also very conflicted about it, and I don't think any of you knew or could anticipate what would happen to you when you came back, and that was just the whole experience is devastating.
How is your dad now?
He's no longer with us, but I hold those stories with me, and
Yes.
some of his friends who were with him are still alive too, and they hold those stories as well. But just want to let you know, I'm holding a place in my heart for you
Yes.
and what you
Yes.
went through. My voice is shaking a little bit, but
Yeah.
so thank you. I know you probably didn't get any thank yous for what you did and what you experienced, but I
You
do
know,
appreciate it because I know.
and what's interesting is that in the late 90s, United was the first American airline to get to go into Vietnam as an
Hmm.
airline.
Wow.
And I was on that first crew, 747, going into Da Nang. I'm sorry, Ho Chi Minh, and which was at that time called Saigon. And when I got there, it was totally different. I mean, they have skyscrapers in Vietnam that are taller than the Empire State Building. If you Google the tallest building in Vietnam, you'll see spectacular stuff. So it has changed tremendously. And I met a lot of veterans who stayed there, been there 40, 50 years. Yeah, I stepped off at a couple of the restaurants, a jazz club, and I'd see these Americans, and I wanted to talk to them because I'm only there for a day or two, and then I'm heading back to Hong Kong, back to San Francisco.
Hmm.
And so I met a lot of guys who decided that that's where they wanted to live, and they never came back.
That's
Interesting.
that must have been such a surreal experience for you for when you were originally there and then coming back. I imagine there was a heaviness when you first arrived, and then did something lift for you when you were able to meet some Americans and maybe also some residents, some
Yeah,
locals?
my first night there, I remember looking out the window in my hotel room, and everything came back. I mean, I was reflecting on 1967, and my mind was gone. And I'm staring out the window at the traffic and all the mopeds. I mean, there's more mopeds than cars.
Yes.
And I'm looking out there thinking, wow, what is going on? What happened? And I reflected, on my best friend who passed away in Vietnam as well. And so the next morning, when I walked outside, that heat hit me for the first time, and I realized, oh yeah, it's hot. And
Yeah.
I looked around, and everyone that was in the lobby there walked up to me and asked me, if I needed any help or what was and I thought, wow, this is different.
So different.
And so we talked, and everyone was nice and kind. And I realized this isn't the same place that I was in 50 years ago. So pay attention. And I had a great time. And
I'm
I
glad
kept
that
going
you were
back.
able
Yeah, I
I'm
kept
glad that
going
you
back.
were able to leave with a different experience. And you said that you've been there several times since then.
Oh, I've been there at least 20 times.
Well, you're all over the place. I mean, you are a jet
Yeah.
setter. You're over in New Zealand, and you're over
Oh,
here,
New
and I'm like,
Zealand.
where are you now, Rocky? You're like, wait, hold on. Let me send you a picture.
Well, I love New Zealand. You get me start talking about New Zealand, I can't stop. So we're not going to go there.
Maybe that'll be for next time. So so you went into college afterwards and you studied aeronautics and theater, and then you said you started flying for was it United or American Airlines after you got out of the Air
United.
Force?
Yeah,
United.
I only applied to one airline and I got accepted. I never left.
Well, I mean, with your history, and your expertise, I'm sure anywhere you would have applied, you would have gotten it.
But thank you.
Now, I heard that at one point before all of this, maybe it was after Vietnam, that you had considered getting into the priesthood,
Yes.
which I
Um,
could understand feeling conflicted and not quite knowing where to go. You might be maybe easily swayed, one way or another. What
well,
happened there?
I was conflicted when I came back in '68. I had decided that I was going to be a priest. And I went to St. Louis University to contemplate the idea, but I wasn't quite sure if it was what I needed to do. And so I hung around the Jesuits, and I even lived across the street from the seminary. And I met with them on a weekly basis. And at the end of the day, I realized that, I'm just not cut out for this. Um, this is not who I am. And so I went back to the university and told everybody that I was moving on. And that's when I started at the junior college and then moved on to SIU. So it was brief, but there was a moment in which I thought that was who I was going to be, a Jesuit priest.
And I bet they almost thought they got you. They're like, ha 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 ha, ha, got our hooks in him. And you said, not today.
Not today, not
Not
today.
today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Personally, I'm proud of you for going in a different direction. I think that
Thank
acting was definitely calling you.
you. It was. It
Flying was
was.
calling you.
Mhm.
When did you would you remind me when did you make that shift into acting? Were you doing theater when you were in college?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was my whole setup. I started out in Forest Park Community College in the
Mhm.
acting theater department, and my first three shows, I knew this is what I wanted to do. So when I got the scholarship to Southern Illinois, I knew that if it was going to happen, this was going to be the place that was going to launch my career. And when I got there, I realized, that I wanted very much to be a full-time actor. Now
Mm.
you got to realize now we're talking the early 70s. And when you look at TV from the perspective of a black person in
Mhm.
1972, 73, there wasn't a lot of TV shows for blacks.
No.
So I decided, instead of being a starving actor, I think I'm going to go back into the military. I'm going to do military training films. And
Oh.
that way, when I retire, I can become a full time actor. And since the military didn't have actors, your job was to go out and hire civilian actors to come in and do the military shows. So you would have met a lot of actors on their way up through the years, and you'd have a good resume and of course, a good Rolodex of people that you can refer to if necessary. So I said, this is perfect.
Oh yeah.
But when I signed up for the ROTC, they told me later on that no, we're gonna make you a pilot. Why? Because that career field that you're talking about it no longer exists. We're getting rid of it as we speak. I was like, what?
Your heart is breaking and shattering
I'm
into
like, oh
millions of pieces at this point.
yeah. Okay, all right. So you think I'm gonna be Snoopy now, huh?
Oh no.
Yep. You're gonna be a flyer. I said, okay, yeah, I can do that. Steve Canyon. Okay, yeah. Where's my check? And it all came from that.
Well, that's incredible. You mentioned to me before that you are a method actor.
Mhm.
I I was in theater in high school, a little bit in college, so I understand what that is. But I was wondering if you could take a moment to explain what that is to some of our viewers and listeners.
Well, method acting is quite different than technique. Um, I show up on set in character. and would stay in character the whole day. And of course, early on, I realized that it affected a lot of people and how they looked at me and how they thought of me. They thought I was crazy, really.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
having lunch and this guy's still acting like this guy. We're outside, on a break and he's still in character. Is this really who he is? No. But I realized that method acting has its place.
Mm.
Technique acting has its place. And so I've changed through the years. I've managed to work my way through the system using various techniques.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm assuming you don't want to just have just one technique. That's it. You need to be flexible as an actor because roles aren't always calling for something like that.
No,
I mean, there are famous actors that do this, like Daniel Day Lewis.
he's very
I
good at
think
it.
I think Gary Oldman has done it at times.
Mhm.
There are a few other people that do it, but yeah, I can imagine that it could be a little creepy for other people on set,
I
like you
remember
said.
when you say Gary Oldman, I remember I did Air Force One. I played Major Bridges, the navigator in Air Force One.
Yes,
And Gary Oldman played the bad guy, the Russian.
yes.
And I watched him. I watched him a lot, him and Harrison. Uh, but Gary seemed to do the technique of method acting more so than Harrison.
Hmm.
He somewhat stayed in character the whole time we were offset, and which is good because I understood what he was doing. But I can see how method acting can ostracize you from other fellow actors.
Oh yeah, sometimes people get, oh, they're difficult to work with,
Mhm.
so on and so on. Or I think on Air Force One, they would call him Creepy Gary or something like that. There was some kind of nickname they were calling him because they're just like, dude, you're freaking everybody out. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to nail the
Exactly.
role. And everyone was phenomenal in that film.
It was a
Um,
great movie. Great movie.
oh,
Wolfgang
yeah.
Peterson was outstanding as a director. When I showed up on this set, and I was there for 35 days, I had no idea that Wolfgang was the director.
And you went, oh, when you saw him.
We're talking a lot. I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah. Why is he talking to me? I realized this guy's the
Nice.
director of the movie. I was like shocked. But he was just that laid back. And I said, I wish I could be like that. Just laid back. Now nothing bothers me. Just go with the flow. And I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot.
Was that your first role, your first like big role as an on-screen actor?
It was, and it happened by accident. Uh, I'm at United. I'm flying jets for United, and I see these guys. They telling me that they just didn't have this role. They had auditioned and they didn't get the part. And I says, "Well, what do you think they were looking for?" He says, "Well, they were looking for a real pilot." I said, "What? I'm a real pilot." He says, "Well, here's where it is. Go and audition." So I went over to Staples and had a little picture blown up and made my college resume and put it together and walked into the office and asked for the head lady in charge. And when I got there, I realized I didn't know what to say or what to do. I just looking at her.
Oh, it's like slide the photo across the desk or something.
So she was talking to another lady, and she
Hmm.
looks at me and she says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I understand you guys been looking for me." And she starts laughing. And the other lady, she starts laughing as well. I'm thinking, what's so funny? And so she says, "That's your package." So she takes my package and I leave. I get outside and I realize I'm drenched. I'm totally wet.
Oh,
I've been
you didn't know that
sweating
you
and
were nervous.
perspiring like crazy. And then I go home. A month passed. there's a knock on my door. It's 7:30 in the evening. Open the door and there's this courier with the script. He says, "Could you sign here?" And I sign. He says, "What is this?" "You're now a member of Air Force One." And that's how I got the part.
That's a lot different than, you get a text or an email these days. That is so
Yes,
cool and formal. Someone like coming
and
into your
for
door and
my,
going, "Guess what?"
I I left it alone. I mean, it'd been a month, you know. But and then I took a break, and I decided, I wanted to want to finish my career and then become an actor full time, and that's what happened.
You have been in so many featured films, TV shows, shorts, commercials. Just it's your body of work is incredible.
Thank you.
Have aside from Air Force One, have you had another favorite role or favorite project you've been a part of?
Well, I like Grace and Frankie. I don't know if you ever watched
Mhm.
that show.
I
Uh,
know what it is. I have not watched it yet.
yeah, I enjoyed my role in that, and NCIS LA.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that as well. I've been in a number of projects that I enjoyed. One that I'm working on right now is Beyond Silence.
Mhm.
Uh, I play a botanist, and I'm really excited to get into that. And October, I'm heading down to New Orleans to film a movie called The Preservation of Rue Lee Richards,
Mhm.
and I'll be the lead in that. I'll be down there for a couple of months filming that movie.
Ooh. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Next month, I have an award show. My Comcast commercial took first prize. The Aviators,
Mhm.
Xfinity Aviators.
Could
It's
you tell
on
us a
YouTube.
little bit about that?
Yeah, Catherine Bigelow, the Hurt Locker, Zero
Mhm.
Dark 30. She got together to direct this Comcast commercial about four Vietnam veterans and come together after 50 years. And it takes place uh, on the beach, and it's about a little girl who knows that her grandfather can't fly anymore, but he wants to. So she gives him these AI headsets,
Oh, interesting.
and he's able to fly in the air again and fly in formation with his other buddies because she gives each one of us one of those to use. And it's really a nice 3 minute commercial on YouTube. It's called Xfinity Aviators. So it took first prize.
Congratulations to the whole team. That's absolutely incredible. And I
And
think
and,
people
and
can
we,
find that
we've
on
had we've
YouTube.
had a lot of things happen with that commercial along the way. We had an invite to Today's Show.
Mhm.
We were
I
on
saw
Today's
you.
Show. On this, yeah, we were on to the 11th hour.
Mhm.
We were on Excess Hollywood with Mario, and even we had an invite to the White House. That was nice as well. Got a chance to see the White House and Oval Office and all that. Yeah,
Was there anything about the White House trip that surprised you? Surprised and delighted.
I was surprised at how small the Oval Office really is.
Everyone says something like that about the White House, either,
It's
the
very
building itself or
small.
the office.
Mhm. And I thought it was a replica. I was just, "Oh, is this the
No.
theater room?" They says, "No, this is the real deal." And I was like, "Wow, I can barely stand in here." But you see on TV all these press agents and everybody in the room, and you think that it's a massive room, but it's not. It's a small.
No, because if you really look at it, everyone's shoved in there,
Oh, yes, they
on
are.
the around the couches and the desks and everything, and you're like, damn, they must really like each other. It's standing very close.
I wanted to take pictures, but
You're right.
they take your camera when you walk into the White House. They
Dang it.
take your camera, lock it up, and all you can do is have that memory. Mhm.
Yes, yes. Ghost fans know that all too well. I'm not sure if you know that, but If you go to a Ghost concert now, you can't have your phone out, can't take any
No,
photos, no video. No, a lot of people are like womp womp about it, but I understand. It's like hold that memory in your mind
right,
and your heart. But
right,
I'm also from the time before, you had cell phones. So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's
Well,
nothing,
well,
guys. It's fine. It's gonna be
I
okay.
wonder why it's not hurting anybody. Maybe the
As
flashing.
I understand, there are a few bands doing this. They want they would like to curate the concert experience for the fans, and so it is put your phone down, watch us, enjoy the experience around you. And for anyone like viewing this, on YouTube right now, not having the phone up in the
Yeah, in
front
your
man's
face.
face or
Yeah.
whoever's face, they want to see you and interact with you. So that's why I understand they're doing that. Definitely not the same reasons in the White House. That is security reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Not
understand.
to gloss over that.
No, no, I understand. Yeah.
Would you mind if we spoke a little bit about your role with the band Ghost,
Sure.
as Mr. Sultarian? Would that be okay?
Fire away.
His thumbs up, sure. I was wondering, what is your process, or excuse me, was and is your process, because this is an evolving character. What's your process for bringing such a unique character to life? Because at first we knew nothing about him, and now speaking a bit more, we're starting to get a little bit of a backstory.
But first of all, this is Tobias's idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tobias created Mr. Sultarian. And so when I got the script, it was like a 20-page script. I read over it and got everything under control. And then when I got to the set, I met him. And once again, I'm talking to this guy.
Who's this guy? Yeah.
I have no idea this is Tobias.
Hmm.
So he just talking, we're going to do this. And I'm thinking, this is the first AD. Yeah, that's who this guy.
Oh
And so we're just talking. Finally, I said, what is your job in all this? he
no! He just like
starts
slowly
laughing.
walked away. Like,
He starts laughing. And then I realized that this is Tobias. This is the director. And I
you're
was
like,
like,
oh shit.
oh, okay, yeah, well, sorry. And he says, oh, by the way, we're not going to use that script. And then we use a new script and we improvise and we use a new script. And I thought, wow, I like this approach. It's a little scary, after doing all that studying and preparation,
Yes.
but I like it. I've come to really like it.
Did you have any experience with improv? When I mean, you had to when you were in theater.
I did very
Okay.
little. I did kabuki theater when I lived in Japan.
Oh, that's yes, that's much different.
I lived there for a year. And I also did some improv early on when I first came to LA.
Hmm.
But to the extent of being a SNL or shows like that, no, I didn't have that kind of background. But I could do it, but I would need a little preparation, to work my way into it. But I find it interesting, though, to say, here's an idea, and here's where we start, and here's where we end. What we say in between, well, let's just get there. Oh, I'm so used to scripted material that it's a welcome change for me.
I mean, it's going to keep you on your toes, right?
Yeah.
And uh, in a way, it also shows you that uh, maybe Tobias is a little bit more focused. He's a little bit more focused on his character and his portrayal, and he's trusting the actors. Like, hey, you guys are professionals. Roll with it. Bring a little bit of yourself to this character. And that's
Mhm.
really cool to have the flexibility, even though I know that it is very scary to memorize an entire script and they go, never mind.
Yeah, don't do that.
No,
What do you mean?
yeah, never mind.
Well,
We're not doing that.
we're not doing that. Well, we shot us. I think it was 13, chapter 13. I think we shot that
Hmm.
in Malibu, and I was just fascinated at this little place that we shot at, and it was on the water, and we had three nice big scenes that we shot, and we scripted all of it, and I was shocked that we stayed with the script. I was
Yeah.
hoping that we could, but he said no, we're gonna stay with this time. And every time that I work with this guy, he's always been one of those type of people who wants the best for whatever is going to happen. So if you got an idea, let me have it. I have no problem with putting it into the script. I like that.
I like that too. And would you say that you brought some of yourself into Mr. Sultarian? Some of you,
Oh,
a little
oh
bit, because he's been showing a little bit more personality lately, especially that last one with the doom call or whatever they they call it. Yeah, that one. You have such a great smile. I love that.
yeah, yeah. He's one of those kind of guys that allows you to be yourself. And so when I looked at the idea of playing Sultarian, I thought I am Mr. Death.
Right, because there's the whole Four Horsemen speculation from the fans and whatnot. So maybe at some point you thought of yourself as Death, then, right? As this character,
Yes.
I mean.
Yes. And so I thought, okay, yeah, I can do that. I mean, I've seen a lot of death,
You
especially
have.
in Japan. You know. So it was easy for me to get into the character. I just had to make sure I exit the character, that I
Yeah.
did that I sit in it. And so I made it fun. I gave Saltarian a sense of humor. And so his mother, his father, his brother, they're all a part of my happy family.
At family dinner. Yeah, I do appreciate that you brought some humor into it. There is an actress that has worked with ghosts. She's played the younger sister Imperator, from Ghost back in the 60s,
Oh,
70s,
wow.
80s, all that. And so she plays the role of young sister Imperator, they call her. And she once said to me and my friend when we were doing an event with her, she goes, "Well, if it's not silly, it's not Ghost." Like there has to be something silly. Like you cannot take yourself too seriously when you're in that role.
Mhm.
Maybe at first, then as the character develops, you got to just give in to the silliness because it's gonna happen. With Ghost.
You're right. And when I believe it was 18 or 19, I can't remember which chapter it was. I'm pushing this coffin down the hallway,
Yeah.
and he's on the phone. And when I get to the door, I turn and look at him and give him my cheesy smile.
Yeah. It's
And
kind of creepy.
he's like, "Oh, what's going on here? Whose coffin is that?" I actually pictured myself naked. So that's what gave me the smile when I looked at him and I said, "Do you see me now?" And I went on past the door and I thought, wow, that was exciting.
It was exhilarating to be naked in a mausoleum.
I don't
I
think I've ever
often,
told anyone that story before, but
that's amazing. You heard it right here, folks.
yeah.
Let's say I often picture myself walking naked through that beautiful mausoleum, but
Yeah.
don't
What
we
a
all?
beautiful place, too.
Oh my gosh,
That,
it's gorgeous. But you have been to so many gorgeous lands, so many gorgeous locations. I was wondering, could you maybe tell us a little bit about your travels and then maybe any vacations you have coming up?
Well, I was fortunate in that in the military, in the Marine Corps, I was stationed in Japan for a year. In the Air Force, I was stationed in Greece, Athens, Greece, for 3 years.
Dang.
And so I've got a chance to see quite a bit of the world as an airline pilot and as a military pilot as well. I did a lot of Central and South America flying. And so my next trip down there will be to Cuba. Yeah, I smoke cigars.
Oh,
And so
hey.
my goal is to go down and purchase probably 200 or 300 cigars. I have a nice humidor.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and I'll bring those back. And then I'll head over to Tahiti just for a weekend. And it's the beauty of being a retired pilot. I'm able to fly on just about everyone's airline. And I've seen all of you. I might go to Sweden, though, and knock on Tobias's door.
Hello, son. Just kidding. All right.
What's for breakfast?
Maybe you guys could
Oh,
go to, there's a, I think a bar and restaurant called Garlic and Shots or something like that. And
garlic and shots.
I think it's called something like that. And I
It's a cute
believe
name.
his friend owns it. There's a big picture of Papa Emeritus up on the wall, and that
Oh,
could be a
wow.
good place for you guys to hang out. You should definitely hit him up.
Yeah. He lives there, right?
Oh yeah. Well, would this be before or after you're joining us for Meet the Clergy in San Diego?
Oh, this will be after.
Okay, far after. You mentioned cigars. So, if a fan were to bring you a cigar,
Hmm.
what type could they bring you? Hypothetically,
A Churchill.
a Churchill. Where is that from? Can you describe the flavor to us?
Well, a Churchill is the size of the cigar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
You see, there are various sizes of cigars, and Churchill basically stands alone. Everyone that's in the cigars knows what a Churchill is.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I love that face you just made. Hmm. You're gonna like roll into your event in San Diego, and there's gonna be this pile of this very specific size cigars.
I'm looking forward to coming down there to experience this for the first time. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be fantastic. There are so many people signed up to meet you, Marilyn, Alan, get a picture with you, and it's all for a good cause, which is just so
Yes, it is.
absolutely incredible. Nice ghost fan social. And I'm looking forward to working with you on that. And it's just going to be such a incredible day.
Excellent.
Do you have any
Excellent.
parting do you have any parting advice for anyone that wants to pursue acting?
Um, yeah, if acting is something you think you might want to do, I recommend local community theater to start off, and then as you work your way through the system, you'll realize if that's what you want to do, and if not, then if you're in at that age where you want to go to college, then you might want to participate in some college productions just to see if that's what you want to do. But that trip to New York, that trip to Los Angeles to pursue a career, that's a big decision, and I wouldn't take it lightly. I did a lot of stuff before I got to that point.
You did.
And I recommend that for your own sanity because it's a tough business.
Guiding soul.